The Women's Super League is full of clubs familiar to football fans around the world, but one of the 12 isn't like the others. Founded in 2019, London City Lionesses are a team on the rise. Following Michelle Kang's takeover in late 2023, the club became the first fully independent team to be promoted to the WSL last summer. French star Grace Guillaume has signed from PSG for a world record £1.4 million in the summer, joining Sweden captain Asllani and Japanese national team captain Kumagai at the Lionesses. There's still money to spend, expectations are sky high. How am I going to fare in their first season in England's top flight? Let's see how we get on. Yes, folks, a warm welcome back to the channel. We are on the Football Manager 26 Alpha, and I am going to play through a season of women's football in the WSL as newly promoted London City Lionesses. This is a team in their first season in the top flight, and expectations are high here. Looking at the season preview, you can see under teams, we are listed 4th in terms of the pre-season odds to win the league, but when you look at the Media Dream 11, none of the players on this screen are mine. If I was to pick out a key player, though, it has to be Grace Guillaume. Look, she's absolutely amazing. In real life, smashed the record for women's transfer in world football at £1.4 million. I feel like I've got to try and build the entire team around her. And to be fair, when you look at her polygon, I mean, she is so well-rounded. Now, in terms of the board expectations for this year, it's not too lofty. They want a top half finish in the WSL, which, of course, is 5th or higher in this 11-team league. In terms of cup competitions, desired success in the FA Cup, and they don't care about the League Cup. I'm not going to worry about that one either. And the reason I say that is because full focus is on the WSL. The top 3 teams get Women's Champions League spots, and that is my really ambitious goal for this season. Now, unsurprisingly, looking at our squad, Guillaume is listed as our top player, but Van der Donk is not that far behind. The experienced player, Danielle, here, has crazy mentals, great physicals. She's amazing. Only issue, she's injured for up to 3 months. Which I'm going to say now I think is a real shame, because when I look at her mentals and her creativity, I really want to try her on the brand new free role at centre attack in mid. I might try and play it in her absence anyway. Centre-back is one area of the pitch where I don't think we need to worry about making any signings. Saki Kumagai here is absolutely amazing. More of a centre-mid, but for us, I am going to play her at centre-back. She's not the best in the air, but she does have some really good mentals. And I'm going to hope by partnering her with Linari, we can have a little bit of solidity at the back. In terms of other key players, England international Zellum is definitely a player to keep an eye on. She's probably going to be playing at defensive mid as a slightly more defensive option, although with 16 passing, 18 vision, and these set-piece attributes, maybe she'll get more goals and contributions than I think she's going to get from defensive mid. Oh, and I mentioned her in the intro, Asllani here looks absolutely amazing. 36 years old, 200 caps for Sweden. I'll be honest, she is on the decline a little bit, but with the experience that she can offer and her versatility in the final third, I think she's going to be a really useful player for us. Now, in terms of current areas of concern, we have one first-team right-back, so I'm going to need to sign a right-back. And I do think the other area where this team might struggle actually a little bit is the attacking depth. Yeah, I mean, you can see the attacking options I've got at my disposal here. It's a lot of players the wrong side of 30, and also a few players who are perhaps on the decline a little bit. Now, the good news from a recruitment point of view is we have got £500,000 in transfer budget and plenty of wage budget and some scouting budget too. I have started to plan out my first team just a little bit. I am looking at an in-possession 4-2-3-1 and an out-of-possession 4-2-2-2. If you're wondering, why have you lined it up like this with Van der Donk in the middle? You'll note that Van der Donk is the free roam player that I talked about wanting to use when she's fit. And the reason I've had to position her in the centre is just to determine how some of the positional rotation stuff works. Out of possession, I really want us to start in this 4-4-2 shape with Van der Donk kind of stepping up as that centre attacking mid and offering a 2-player press. I feel like forcing turnovers, especially with teams trying to play out from the back, could be advisable, but by playing her as a tracking centre forward, she is going to drop back into this centre attacking mid area, and as you can see, when we are defending deep without the ball, it is going to be a very compact 4-2-3-1 still. Now, in at the left-back area, I am going to go with Poppy Pattinson. She is going to be playing as a playmaking wing-back, which, of course, is a new role in Football Manager. But when I look at how good she is defensively, combined with that 16 dribbling and also 15 passing, I think she's going to be a great player for us at just offering some creativity from deep. And I am going to be playing Guillaume as a box-to-box playmaker alongside Van der Donk. I want these two players ready to look for underlaps whilst we are going to be playing with a false 9 in the middle. I feel like fluidity in the final third is the name of the game. Now, as already mentioned, I need some attackers. I need a backup right back. I've got a month till the season starts. And I've just seen this now, we play Arsenal away from home in the first game of the season. That's a horrible first game. And in fact, we've got Manchester United and Man City in 3 of our first 4 games. That's awful. That's a really difficult start. I've got money to burn. I've got time to spend it. I'm coming back. Arsenal up first. Okay, when I left you guys at pre-season, didn't think I was going to be as busy as I have been. And can I say a warm welcome to the transfers screen for FM26. I actually really like this. Firstly, if you sell a player, it tells you if you made a profit or a loss versus their previous sale. And also, further into the season as we go on, this table would populate with stats so you can see how good your new signings have done and also how the players that have left you are getting on in your absence. Now, in terms of the finances, I did end up rejigging some scouting budget into the transfer budget and also some wage budget into the transfer budget. That combined of instalments has allowed us to spend big, but there is £4 million in the bank, so I felt like I could do it. The first player we picked up was Ellen Vangerheim. She is a 21-year-old versatile striker, a bit like the mini Asllani, if I might say so, another fellow Swede, but she is starting her international career. There was a lot of interest in her as well, but we managed to fight off all of those various teams interested from around the world, and we have picked her up for £250,000. She was in some great form in Sweden. I'm going to hope she carries that form now with us in the WSL. And well, £250,000 is a lot to spend for a player, so is £300,000 on Holly McNamara. Yes, we picked her up from Australia, 22 years old, immense potential, have to say, great current ability as well. Her physicals, her pace, I think is going to serve her well. You can see here, she can play left attacking mid and striker. The only issue with signing her is, I promised her she was going to play false 9, so she is going to be our main striker this year. The only concern with Holly, she's missed 33 months with injuries in the last 3 years. This is a massive gamble that I hope pays off. Now, of course, I did need a right-back option. I actually went to the transfer room feature and set a request saying I need a depth right-back, suggest me some players, and one was offered to me in a matter of days. Brunina, she was available on a free transfer, but there was some interest in her, so we had to move fast. The 23-year-old was released from her NWSL contract with Gotham FC, so we were able to get her on a freebie. Not the quickest fullback, but she's got some really nice technical ability, and she's just going to be that super sub that can play at left-back and right-back on off the bench. We did make 3 further signings. These all depth signings in the areas that we needed them. Gorpset here is a 20-year-old Norwegian international, really well-rounded player with a little bit of potential. We picked her up for what feels like peanuts. We signed her for £60,000. Her value is now 10 times that. I feel like that bodes quite well. And the last 2 players we picked up are Fujisaki and Matsunaga, 2 Japanese youngsters, 19 and 18 respectively. Miyu here, definitely the better of the 2 options. Another very versatile attacking option. Kind of mentioned the fact that we do have this older squad and that there was this lack of depth at attacking mid. All of a sudden, I look at this attacking depth area and there's 4 new really exciting players for us who have a little bit of potential and hopefully are going to grow with the team this year. In terms of the transfers out, Maria Perez left for Bay FC. I needed to move her on because of the registration rules of all the players that we brought in. Fortunately for me, though, wasn't difficult to get rid of her. I actually got the offer through Transfer Room. And the other player that we let go of is Corrales. She went on loan. In fact, both those players were shipped off within days of me starting pre-season. Now, one thing that did happen in pre-season is my captain Asllani came to me and said, hey, Gaffer, my contract's up at the end of the year. Not sure I'm going to get a work permit when it's renewed, which, you know what, is kind of a fair enough concern. In the end, I kind of blagged it and said, well, we'll wait and see if there's an offer, and then I kept my fingers and toes crossed that the 36-year-old wouldn't get any offers. The transfer window's closed, no one's come in for her. I think I've survived. Do you feel like it's cool that? I think that does exist in men's football, but I do wonder if there's going to be a few aspects of the game like that are just more prevalent in women's football if you do this kind of save. Now, in terms of the tactical plan for this year, not changing things too much. In fact, you can see here that the system is actually very similar to what we ran at the start of pre-season. I have been tweaking little bits here and there throughout, and you can see here, originally the tactical style was set up as a tiki-taka system, but if I just go to team instructions and show the in kind of possession instructions, it's less tiki-taka now. We're playing standard tempo, standard passing, looking to work the ball into the box and whip the play in. In terms of supporting runs, I'm looking for the overlap on the right and the underlap on the left-hand side. Of course, I mentioned Brunina, the new right-back option. With her technical ability, I think looking for her to go on the overlap is going to be good. And no prizes for guessing who might be the player we're looking to make the underlap. So it is going to be the box-to-box playmaker, Gaoro. Yeah, I need to get high up the pitch and just slowing down play to let her get into advanced areas with her ability. It just seems sensible. Now, I will say in the season preview, we've now dropped down to 5th, so my pre-season ambition of 3rd may be looking a little bit ambitious at this point. And our first game of the year is against Arsenal, who, with players like Alessio Russo, I can't help but feel like this is going to be a horrible game for me. Away from home as well. Anyway, I'm going to go forward a few months, give you a little update. Let's see how we fare against Arsenal. If we don't get hammered, I'll consider it a win. Okay, well, what do I say about this game? It was our first game in charge as manager. We were playing our 4-2-3-1, and I knew away from home it was going to be tough. And it started off tough. Coldente here with a crazy little cut inside. The turn there was tasty. The finish, not too shabby either. A moment of brilliance. But we actually responded really well in this game. It was a corner. I'm not going to pretend this was a pretty goal by any means. But you know what? McNamara, on her debut, finding the bottom corner. Obviously, big money spent for her, so great to see her get that kind of pressure off her back. Unfortunately, that lead was short-lived. Minutes later, Emily Fox take a bow, top bins that finish. From there, though, we fought back yet again, and it was another one of the new girls. Wagnerheim, from point-blank range, a 1.0 XG chance, gave us, well, a route back into the game, or so I thought before. Alessio Russo scored in the 41st minute. However, you know, end of the first half, on the front foot, knocking it around delightfully. Great passing move. McNamara found the top corner, but it was disallowed. Offside, and 3-2 is how it finished. You know what, though? On the overall balance of play, I don't necessarily think this is the worst result in the world. And that idea that maybe we're not that bad after all was reinforced by this goal here. Grace Gayoro finished off this move, and I've got to say, the way that we have our team set up here and the goals we have scored in these early games are just really, really pretty. This build-up play, this patient probing play out from the back. I don't feel like I saw much of this before. And as for the finish, well, they all backed away from Grace. She found the bottom corner. And that early goal from her was really nice because we went on to win this game 2-1. And when you look at those stats, maybe we got a little bit lucky. And well, from one win into another, this game against Everton capped off by that goal there. Gayoro scoring it again, as we would go on to win 4-2. Yeah, they did get 2 late goals back, Everton, to kind of ruin what was just an emphatic performance. Sadly, the good times didn't keep rolling. Man City rolled up into town, and Lauren Hemp, well, she's quite good at football. We lost this game 2-0, and Hemp was involved in both the goals. She's got 7 goal contributions in 5 games. In the League Cup against West Ham, I fully rotated the team, and actually, we weren't that bad. But we did lose 4-2. What was less fine was this defeat against Liverpool. This was Liverpool's first and only win of the season so far. They beat us 3-1. I think statistically we're unlucky. Wagnerheim getting an early goal. She has been the standout early performer for us. 5 goals and 2 assists so far this season, and also improving the 21-year-old. Been playing her out on the right-hand side, and she's been really, really good there. And in our most recent game, we took on West Ham, came back from behind in this one. A little bit of a revenge for the League Cup. Really great to see Fujisaki get on the scoreline as well. Satoko with her first goal in English football, and whilst the 18-year-old really is one of the fringe players, who I am also sticking in the under-21s, she's putting a great performance here on off the bench. It is, of course, a 22-game season here in the WSL. Currently, we are in 5th place, which isn't bad. Of the teams above us, we've played 3 of the 4. I'm going to hope that in this kind of next run-in of games, we can start to climb up the league table a little bit. Saying all of that, our next game is against Chelsea, who undoubtedly are the best team in terms of women's football teams in the Football Manager database. Sam Kerr is absolutely stupendous. Naomi Girma's not bad either, though, is she? I mean, look at that. Look at that. I mean, she... quite a good centre-back. Now, if we actually look at the team at the moment, one thing you might note here is I've not really rotated the team as much as maybe I should be. There's lots of players here that haven't really played games. One is not through any choice of my own. Danielle here, very almost back from her long-term injury. I can't wait to get her in at centre attacking mid. I think she could be a great little difference maker for us because really, when I was setting up this team with the free roam kind of centre attacking mid, I had her in mind. I do feel like given the recent up and down form, maybe I should be looking to rotate things around a little bit more in this next run of games, especially because when I look at these upcoming games, the difficulty definitely does drop off a little bit. I will say as well, obviously, the January transfer window is a thing. We have got a bit of transfer budget. Admittedly, we're currently over the wage budget, so maybe I should rejig it slightly. Chelsea's next month, I'm going to enjoy a little break with the players, and yeah, who knows, maybe I'm about to introduce a new signing. Shout out to Mrs. Kang, or is it Miss Kang? I don't know her marital status. Either way, she's given us money as the chairwoman, and that is good because I've got a player I want to sign. And well, it's January, and that signing is here. Jessie Fleming has joined us. Now, admittedly, didn't actually need the money in terms of transfer budget, but I needed the wages to get this signing done. The 27-year-old centre mid from Canada has signed for us. She is considered world-class, worldwide reputation, was released by Portland Fawns at the end of the NWSL season. And I'll be honest, she is just absolutely amazing. I didn't think I needed a centre attacking mid, but when someone this good's available and you can actually sign them, I think you've just got to do it. She's not the only signing I'm trying to make. I made an offer for Claire Hutton. Chelsea have also made an offer for Claire Hutton. I would love to get this woman signed, 19 years old, into her last year of her contract with Kansas City. The issue is Chelsea are also in for her, and Chelsea do have quite a lot of pulling power. Speaking of Chelsea, of course, I left things and we had to play them next. Did it go well? Not really. Can we discuss their tactics for a moment? Like, what is this? What is this in and out possession nonsense? When your team is this good that you can run this system and run away to the top of the table, like, it's just deeply upsetting. Like, their team is just too good on paper. Sam Kerr's amazing. Lauren James also amazing. They were involved in all the goals that they scored, as we got battered and they had an XG of 4. If I want to find some good news, though, we have bounced back and looked really, really good lately. We beat Tottenham 5-0. Admittedly, they are towards the bottom of the table. We then beat Aston Villa 5-0 to make it back-to-back results. Danielle van der Donk with a hat-trick. And she also picked up an injury in this game. Yeah, this woman, absolutely immense for us on her day, but gets injured just too much. She missed 3 weeks off the back of the Villa game. The good news is maybe we didn't miss her completely. And I suppose what I mean by that is the goals have continued to flow, and we've got some good results in the league. We did win in the League Cup 6-2 against Crystal Palace with a rotated team. We then beat Brighton 3-2. Nikita Paris, against her former club, grabbed 2 goals. Not a name I've really uttered during this kind of video thus far, but the right attacking mid has on occasion slotted in the middle. She came up good in this game. And whilst we did lose to Spurs in the League Cup, which we were already out of at that point because West Ham had won the group, we were able to bounce back yet again with another emphatic win, another clean sheet, 3-0 against Leicester. Admittedly, Leicester, another one of the teams struggling at the bottom of the table. Speaking of which, at the halfway point, we are currently in 4th. I do not think that is too bad. Manchester United are breathing down our necks. Everton, who started the season immensely, have dropped off quite a bit at this point. And Liverpool, who we lost against, have won 1 game all season. I do hope we'll be able to get this Claire Hutton signing done, but obviously Chelsea are going to make things difficult. And we can have a little look here at the transfer history screen where you can kind of see the new look things, where we can see all the different performances from the new signings. Yeah, there's been some really good performances in here. Wagner Heim, who started the season really well, has slowed down a little bit. Meanwhile, Gorpstedt, who's kind of stepped into the team recently, the 20-year-old, has played really well when we featured her. I think I've got to try and give her some more games, and she has been improving in training too. Right now from the board at the halfway point, it is a B- grade, which I don't think is too shabby. They were delighted with the 5-0 win against Aston Villa and the signing of Jessie Fleming and the atmosphere of the club. I really am going to hope that Fleming can make a difference for us. Obviously, I keep going on about Liverpool beating us. We actually play them in our very, very next game, and I would love it if we beat them. Well, I said I'd love it if we beat them. We did beat them. Jessie Fleming to Finalizing to Van Donk to give us the lead. And whilst Liverpool did get a goal back, we did go on to win this game. If you're having trouble spotting the ball, it's the Alpha. There will be a snowball. Can we just say now, though, doesn't the snow look good in game? Like, the snow actually looks good in FM26. I'm shocked. And of course, not to take anything away from the players, this game was a much-needed win, and great to see Fleming on her debut get a goal too. From there in the FA Cup, we did win 1-0 against Ipswich Town. Holly McNamara with the goal. I feel like I've not really uttered the Aussie's name since we signed for her. 6 goals and 2 assists to her name. Has been playing as that false 9 and that spearhead of the attack. Admittedly, with the 2 wide forwards alongside her, I feel like the creative threat and goal-scoring threat hasn't exactly come from her all the time. Draws against Man City and Brighton followed before an emphatic win against Everton 5-3. Van der Donk with 2 goals. Yes, when she's not injured, she scores. And in our most recent game, we won against Manchester United. Finalizing with the opener in what ended up being a 2-1 win. And with this result here, we were 9 unbeaten in the league. And you know what? If you're wondering, Jack, who's Finalizing? Look, Sunny Finalizing, I need to offer an apology. I'm trying to remember what the word for apology is in Finnish. I think it's Untiksi. Untiksi Sunny Finalizing. Look, I didn't know her game. I didn't play her for the first half of the season. Holly McNamara got injured up front. She scored 3 goals and 5 assists, Annie, so far through 8 games. And I think the physicals are doing a lot of the heavy lifting. In fact, when you look at our recent games in retrospect, she got a goal that was crucial against Man City to get us a 2-2. Against Brighton, where we drew, she scored in this game. This woman might have saved our season. In terms of seasonal stats, I mean, she's far down the goal-scoring department, but when you look at the rating, she's right up there alongside Van der Donk, who has 9 goals in 9 games already. Another thing that I think is interesting to note, Poppy Patterson and Brunina, our left back and right back, both averaging above a 7.0 rating. I suspect that with the way we play when we don't have the ball, where it's this narrow 4-2-2, the fullbacks are just more exposed. They have to do more defending, and as a result of that, they're actually getting quite good ratings. Now, we are still in the FA Cup for now, but our very next game is against Chelsea, and as we've already established, Chelsea are very good. The expectation was for us to get past this round. I think I might be about to disappoint the board. Speaking of disappointments, Claire Hutton went to Chelsea and they've immediately stuck her in the under-21s. And as for things in the league, well, actually, we are currently in 4th place. We've actually managed to close the gap on Man City just a little bit, but our next 2 league games following on from that FA Cup game against Chelsea are also against Arsenal and against Chelsea. Once we get those games done, though, it is an easier end to the season. All of that to say, these next 3 games could be rather definitive. I hope we do okay. I do feel like with 3rd in the title chase maybe looking difficult, this was a chance, and it's a chance that, well, we didn't make the most of. At least in the first half, look, we were 3-0 down at the break. I made a load of tactical changes to inspire the team, and nothing happened in the second half and we lost 3-0. But it would have been good if we made a comeback, wouldn't it? With 6 games left of the league season, get ready to play Arsenal. This happened. Grace Gayoro injured, gonna miss the next 2 games against Arsenal and Chelsea. Certainly less than ideal, but with these games being at home, I was still hoping we had a chance. And well, against Arsenal, we battled really bravely. 80+ minutes without a goal. We got a goal right before the 90th. Amazing goal to get, really. I didn't expect it when Van der Donk scored, but we couldn't hold on to the lead. Minutes later, they would respond. It was Coldente who scored against us before, scoring in the 94th minute. And you think it's over, don't you? You think you've bottled it, Jack. 1-1, it almost got worse. Did it get worse? No. The shot thankfully went wide. I will say, on balance in this game, very fortunate to get a 1-1. And if Arsenal had won it 2-1, it wouldn't have exactly been harsh on us. Our preparation against Chelsea, somewhat ruined. Linari, our star centre-back, injured for the rest of the season. Yeah, that kind of sucks, doesn't it, going into this next one? I have to say, and I hope this is coming across in the commentary, I was really enjoying this run of games. Chelsea, just a constant thorn in my side. I was up for this game. I even changed the tactic a little bit because we had some players missing and I thought, let's just try something interesting. And then Baltimore scored an amazing solo goal inside the first 15 minutes. Yeah, a little bit of a gut punch after all the changes I'd made, but we did respond. It was the 2 Nordic players linking up. It was Aslani setting up Finalizing to make it 1-1, and not long later, we hit the crossbar. Yeah, I was thinking at this point, could we do it? Will we do it? The anticipation was building, and then Bjorn went and got sent off for a moment of absolute madness. It was 1-1. They were down a man. What happened? Lauren James happened. Yeah, Lauren James. She's really good at football. She's really good at... Scored in the 36th minute and grabbed another in the second half. And can I be real with you for a moment? I was just sad. Like, the stats at the end of this game really suggested that we weren't that bad, but moments of quality from great players make a difference at this level. And, well, just to reiterate, looking at Lauren James's profile here, she's really, really good at football. Like, in Football Manager terms, like 180 current ability plus. And yeah, she broke my heart. However, our last 4 games of the season are easier. We kicked off with this game against West Ham that we won at 1-0. Jessie Fleming getting the goal in this one, making it 3 for the season, but she has popped up with some match-winning goals when she has scored. Unfortunately, she has got injured as of late and did miss the next couple of games. Well, I'm pleased to report we got some great results. 5-0 against Leicester. Admittedly, they are second from bottom. And then against bottom of the table Spurs, we won 7-1. Van der Donk got a hat-trick. Like, the free roam role, it's just an amazing role for a goal-scoring player. Like, she's got 12 finishing, but she's got 12 goals in 13 games. And as we were beating Leicester, Man City in third were drawing against Brighton. And when we beat Spurs 7-1, Liverpool, the arch enemy of this game, I'm still bitter they beat me once, they managed to win away from home against Man City in a sensational result, which I have to say sets up an absolutely blockbuster end to the season. We're in third, Man City are in fourth, Man United are in fifth. There are 2 points separating us, as we today are taking on Aston Villa at home. Well, today's task is rather simple. Win, we secure Champions League football for the first time in this club's history. In terms of team news, here is the team. Van der Donk is in the team. McNamara is now playing out on the left-hand side. Wagnerheim is going to be playing as the false nine for us in the system today. I did have the dilemma of Aslani or Paris. I'll be honest, Aslani has really just declined this year. Her physicals have dropped off, given the fact she's 36. Not entirely surprising. And if you were wondering, having bigged up for Nessie so much, why is she not playing injured? So one of our informed strikers just not available today. Okay, we are playing our 4-3-3. What are Aston Villa going to be playing? They are a team that we should be beating. A 4-3-3 in possession. Only won 2 of their last 5. They are in 6th, but we are quite a few points ahead of them. I really hope in this video the quality of the women's match engine has shone through. It plays very differently to men's football in a really fun way where it feels like individuals can really take over a game. And at the moment, Guillaume is kind of doing just that. All the plays coming through her. We're having a lot of joy on this near side. And speaking of the devil, Grace shoots. She's only gone and done it. Curtain inside onto her right foot and just bending it in off the post. That was tasty. The rain is lashing down here, but we are still ahead at Hayes Lane, which is, well, a familiar sight for us this year as Patterson, the left-back, steps out and wins it. And with Greengrass ahead of her, she is going to charge on forward, the left-back. Surely not. It's 2-0. It is 2-0. Part of me was hoping for a little bit of jeopardy on this final day, but right now we are stepping up to the occasion. McNamara steps forward, and that was almost another. 2-0 up, doing exactly what we need to be doing. Villa not even had a shot on target. Nikita Paris on the near side. The rain is still lashing down, but we're holding on to the ball nicely as Zellum holds it up. It's dinked in, headed away, and now Villa looking to counter. It's Daly bringing the ball forward. Option on her right. That is Salmon. The pacey, well, inside forward attacking option, floats it in. Daly's there. And I'll tell you what, she's made it 2-1. Making some changes here. I'm bringing in Fujisaki, Aslani and Matsunaga, really just to get some fresh legs in the final third. Fujisaki, not the best at false nine. On occasion when I've brought her on, I have played her as a centre forward. I think that makes sense in this game here. Her 15 finishing and 15 strength makes her a great lone goal threat. Subs have not gone through yet, and we could still be on the attack. If we get a goal now, do I cancel the changes? Patterson, Zellum, Pattinson, plays it wide, Guillaume. Options in the middle, needs to get on her right foot, does so, could shoot, does shoot. And that is 3-1. Maybe I should cancel the changes. Now, you know what? I'm going to do them. We've cleared the ball away here. Could there be a counter-attack on? Villa have committed players to this attack. Matsunaga, fresh off the bench. The young Japanese winger making a great run forward. Floats it towards the back post. McNamara probably should play this in. She does. Guillaume, back to Matsunaga, back to Guillaume, who's on for the hat-trick. Lays it off unselfishly. It's 4-1. This game is done. Zellum switches the ball wide to Matsunaga. She already has 1 goal, the Japanese winger, and now she could be looking for another. She nearly got it. We've grabbed a 5th. Corner was not cleared. McNamara cutting inside. She scored our opening goal of the season in a similar fashion. That could be the last one of the season there. Bit awkward, just as I think we're wrapping things up for the season. Villa have got 1 goal back, but it is still 5-2. And that, my friends, is that. I feel like 5-2 flattered us slightly, but we definitely deserve to win this one. Show me the league table. Give me the inbox item too. Man City won, we won, Manchester United lost. But in spite of that City result, we finished 3rd. That was my aim at the start of the year. we were a long way off Arsenal and Chelsea in the end. And if you were wondering and thinking about doing this save game with London City Lionesses yourself and you finish in the top 3, you'll be pleased to know that next season, you're still going to get given lots of money to spend. Van der Donk was our top goal scorer for the season in terms of assists. Katie Zellum led the way. A lot of those, I think, were set pieces. She was very good in that regard. And while we were able to exceed the board expectations just a little bit, however, they still only gave me a B because of the FA Cup. Wasn't really sure what to expect with women's football in Football Manager, but the match engine really does play out differently, and kind of the different scale of finances versus player ability is a little bit weird and, well, odd to get used to coming to it for the first time playing in Football Manager. But I've really enjoyed this. If you have enjoyed this and you'd like to see some more women's content here on the channel, go down below, leave a like and show some support. If you're new to my channel, subscribe. And besides all of that, it is me, Jack, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I'm out.